The new changes and unlocks this week in GTA Online are actually really great, and today on the show we're going to be jumping in depth on everything that I think players should purchase as well as avoid purchasing this week in GTA 5 Online. Now usually my discounts buyer's guide is out before my money guide and remove vehicles guides, but some of the removed vehicles are even better than the discounted ones this week, so I wanted to prioritize that video first. But if you want to check that out or learn how to make money fast, easy, and solo with the nightclub bonuses as well this week, make sure to check those videos out. But this one is strictly about showcasing the property and the vehicle discounts in particular, how each and every one of them performs, what unique features they offer, how the vehicles can also be customized to stand out even further, and for the businesses and property side of things today, what it's like to be an owner of that business and what to expect when you get started. And if you're a regular, thank you so much for supporting my weekly buyer's guide series. I love reviewing all the cars and businesses in this game, so big shout out to you guys. With that said, let's get started. Jumping in, we do have that 30% off discount on all nightclub properties, upgrades, and modifications. Purchasing a nightclub in GTA is going to be one of the most important investments that you can make, and this applies to players of all levels, particularly beginners out there, but also solo players, as well as even longtime enthusiasts of GTA Online who haven't bought it yet. You get a super diverse and largely passive income stream from this business. The nightclub acts as a hub for lucrative ventures such as the wall safe, which can generate up to $50,000 every 48 minutes based on your club's popularity. With the double money this week, it's actually $100,000. And then we also have a warehouse with the nightclub that also allows you to make significant cargo sales without active management really at all here. Additionally, that nightclub warehouse is also linked to your other businesses in the game, so you get goods from those and you don't negatively impact those other businesses by like siphoning crates and cargo and product from them. It's just extra in your nightclub here, so you can focus on all other gameplay aspects while you still amass tons of resources for your large-scale nightclub sales. And these features, combined with the current double money promotions that I was talking about, honestly make the nightclub an incredible choice for players who are looking to expand their overall operations in the game and also increase the more passive income that they're making in this game, in my opinion. Obviously, for this discounts review, I don't have time to go over my full money guide on the nightclub, but that video will be linked down in the description below should you decide to actually purchase the nightclub this week and you need help getting started, or even if you're just wondering for the best tips, I have all of the meta strategies on the nightclub to help you out inside of that video. Also, if you're enjoying the video at any point, or if you just find it helpful so far, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you want to stay up to date with everything GTA Online and Rockstar Games, then please consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. Jumping up next, we have 40% off the Cheval Taipan in the game. This car is inspired by the Hennessy Venom F5, and you also get some other design elements from the 4GT and even McLaren P1, but they're not as obvious here. You get a more unique driving experience with this car as well in the game. For a car that's supposed to make a ton of power, it does have a relatively quiet engine and it only has average acceleration in the game, but one good thing here is this car excels in traction due to the high statistical downforce you get, so you get provided with excellent handling, and it also allows this car to stick to the roads effortlessly if you're trying to race this vehicle. The top speed is only 123 miles an hour, which I guess used to be okay in the game pre-San Andreas Super Sport Series update, but now it's pretty far down the list of top speeds for supercars. You also get really bad advanced handling flags here, which are in regards to premature upshifting. You get prolonged engine over revving and also excessive bouncing caused by the suspension springiness that's basically heightened for no reason with this car. It is such a shame to see these downsides with this car because it's honestly a nice looking car and it should be a lot better, but I don't think it's really worth picking up this week in game. Next, we do have 40% off the Nagasaki Shinobi. This is a top tier super bike in my opinion. It's incredibly lightweight, and this bike not only outperforms nearly all other super bikes in its category, but also benefits from a uniquely balanced engine power in this game. And honestly, it's not a drawback. The engine power may be a little bit lower than something like the Hakuchu Drag, but that actually enhances this bike's stability during acceleration as well as sharp cornering, so you get reduced unwanted burnouts and spinouts like you would get with the Hakuchu Drag. And obviously this results in a bike that feels incredibly grounded and responsive, and overall you get a nice blend of agility, control, and speed, and that makes it a highly recommended choice by me for players out there who are looking to win some races or even take on time trials. I almost exclusively use this one, as well as the Western Power Surge. The Batty 801 is obviously a good bike because of its extremely low cost and great performance, but I do think the Shinobi is better overall if you're willing to pay the money for it. After that, we do have 30% off the gratis Stinger GT here. This is a removed vehicle, so you need to buy it from the LS car meet this week in order to get it, but it is discounted. It's a high-performance Grand Tourer, and it also draws inspiration from that iconic Ferrari 250 GTO. Performance-wise, despite claims of better performance than the standard Stinger, if you test it in-game, there's actually little difference, so I would say mostly it depends on if you want like a coupe or, of course, a convertible in this game. Nonetheless, you get a high speed, pretty good acceleration, and you're also able to outperform other sports classics in both categories of the game, but also at high speeds. Keep in mind here, this car exhibits huge amounts of oversteer, and it also has a tendency to fishtail really badly or even power slide if you're taking a sharp corner. But if you decide to keep this car within its limits, it's honestly super forgiving and it has excellent traction. Moving on to number 5, we have 30% off the Dubachi Rapid GT Classic. It is yet another removed vehicle this week that's on discount, so this one you need to pick up from Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport. It's modeled after the 1972 to 1989 Aston Martin V8, as well as with this car you kind of get honestly a really cool vehicle. You get decent enough handling with the sharp turning capabilities that this car has, but also just be cautious a little bit because sort of like the Stinger GT, you may encounter some oversteer at those higher speeds. The braking performance with this car is also far below average, unfortunately, compared to other high-end cars, but the crash deformation is acceptable and it just looks super great. It's super sturdy, and it's a good enough choice if you aren't even going to apply any upgrades to the performance of this car. The only downside I would say is just the handling challenges you get at high speeds, but you're not supposed to drive it like a supercar, right? This is a classic sports car in the game, and honestly, in terms of customization options, you can make an incredible looking sports classics vehicle, or even something that's super eye-catching. You can make it look super modern with some cool paint jobs and just overall get creative with this vehicle. After that, we do have 40% off the Mammoth Patriot Stretch. Some may consider this a throwaway discount. It kind of is. It is a limo, so it's going to be reminiscent of that Hummer H2 limousine version, so you get that very distinctive but compromised driving experience. As you would expect with a limo, you get increased weight. That's going to negatively impact performance. You're going to get slower acceleration. You're going to get really cumbersome handling because of that super extended wheelbase. Obviously, though, you're probably not buying this limo with performance in mind, and so in that case, if you just want a fun nightclub-themed vehicle to drive around you and your friends in which case, honestly, the Mammoth Patriot Stretch definitely gets the job done here. Fun fact, perhaps you don't know this, but in regards to the interior of this vehicle, the interior has lots of cool flashing lights, and those are going to intensify in speed as your engine revs increase, so that's kind of cool right there. And then finally, we do have 40% off the Vapid Festival bus. This bus shares almost identical performance characteristics to the Prism bus, so you know it's going to be a slow pig, but you do get a little bit improved stability. It's not going to tip over as much because for some reason it has a lower center of gravity in comparison, but if you add modifications like the DJ equipment and the speakers and all that, it's going to slightly reduce the acceleration, and also this bus is going to become even slower than the Prism bus, so keep that in mind. The height of the bus can also become a little bit of a problem if you're driving this thing around the city, because the stage accessories and the sculptures and the speakers, those all present challenges in navigating under low bridges and tunnels in the city, and these accessories are also prone to detaching and falling off, so you can't enjoy them as much if you're just crashing, and also you may get stuck on the La Puerta freeway quite consistently with this bus, so just keep that in mind. Despite all this though, the festival bus does allow for players to safely stand on the stage roof of this bus, which is a feature in this game that I don't think is present on any other vehicle, so that's another fun fact right there. Not that it's really going to sway your opinion on if you want to buy it or not, but it is a fun fact. What I recommend you buy is obviously the Nightclub this week, the Nagasaki Shinobi, as well as the Rapid GT Classic. I would consider buying the Grotti Stinger GT and maybe even the Cheval Taipan if you have the money, and then of course I would recommend you stay away from that Mammoth Patriot Stretch as well as the Festival bus. But with all that said, that's all the time we have for in this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video here today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best GTA Online and Rockstar Games content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. Make sure to check out my full in-depth money making guide on the Nightclub and the other GTA 5 Online money bonuses, as well as my weekly removed vehicles video where I also go in depth on all of the removed and rare vehicles that have been added back to GTA for a limited time this week. Make sure to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. You guys can get connected with me on all those platforms, just basically all those platforms outside of YouTube. Follow me at Hazardous HDTV. Hopefully you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next GTA Online video. Adios, amigos.